Welcome, East Hartford. Welcome to another edition to Hartford Community Leaders. Got a wonderful program for you today. We actually sit back, relax, and join with us. 1 hour of good programming. Make sure you tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a relative that we're on. Today we're going to be talking about leadership. Part one of an ongoing talks on leadership. So we're going to talk about part one of leadership today, what it means to be a leader and some of the things that we go through as leaders. Also, what we want to do is we want to take this opportunity before we even get started with our leadership discussion. We want to take this opportunity to thank you, the viewers out there, for tuning in to East Hartford Public Access here on Hartford Community Leaders. I'm telling you, the response that we've been getting from you has been great. Thank you so much for you tuning in each and every week. One of the things I want to say also is that we have right now we have a health crisis with the coronavirus, and so before we even get started with leadership, we want to just go over health topics right now. If you or your family is feel as though you're having some issues or problems with your health, make sure you go to your medical provider to get assistance, help with whatever needs whatever your issue is. Because like I say, there's certain things that going out there, the virus is going out there, and so you want to make sure that you stay safe and stay sanitary. Make sure you wipe down all your work areas. Make sure you wipe down, spray your areas with Lysol. Lysol wipes is good. When I go to work, I normally go in and just wipe down all my desks, all my chair seats and handles and telephones, and make sure that my sanitary around my desk is nice and clean. In your home, you can do the same thing. You can go to door handles. You can wipe down the door handles to make sure everything is nice and safe and clean. Right now, they have just gave out some of the numbers for the coronavirus that's out right now, and so the numbers are really stunning, and so you want to make sure that you are aware of sanitary purposes. I just reported that that there over 40,614 cases in the China area with the coronavirus, and then we have numerous deaths with the coronavirus. And so I want to make sure that you all know about sanitary in your area, in your home, in your job. Make sure you wipe down your desk and all these different places wherever you go. Make sure you carry some hand sanitizers with you because, like I said, this is a health crisis, and so we want to make sure that you, the viewer out there, is safe. And so also we want to say special prayers for the Kobe Bryant family. Kobe Bryant was in the helicopter crash along with his daughter and several other individuals in the helicopter a few weeks back, and so we want to continue to praying for that family, praying for Vanessa and his daughters. And so we want to say and to the families that was impacted through the incident that happened a few weeks back, and it's been all over the news, and so we want to make sure that we continue to say special prayers for that particular family, and once again we want to make sure that you get all this pertinent information available to you direct. Hartford Community Leaders, we serve the greater Hartford area. And so what we want to do is we want to be able to inspire you. We want to be able to motivate you. We want to be able to encourage you by providing those resources, necessary resources, informationals to you direct on how to help you and your family succeed and be good citizens in our community. And so that's why we're here. We're here to actually bring that information to you direct and to work along with you on any issues or any things that you need help on, whether it's receiving a job, whether it's getting help for receiving employment, whether it's, homeless shelters in the community, whether it's needing assistance. If you're in a homeless shelter, you need assistance, with, clothing, you need assistance with sanitary needs. We're here to help you and provide those resources to you in the community. That's why we're here. We're actually fulfilling the civic ambassador's work in our community. That's what civic ambassadors do. We as leaders, we just roll up our sleeves and we get it done. A lot of times people look at leaders and they see those leaders that don't get things done. Leaders actually make things happen. Leaders make things happen and get things to be done, make things to be done. And so today, we'll be discussing that. Let's see what else is on the agenda. I think that's about it. But make sure you sanitize your whole area. Make sure it's clean in that particular area. Make sure that you seek medical advice if you are in need. All right. Just want to inspire you for a few minutes today, and today we'll be talking about leadership. We're in endeavors to work along with our youth and to work with our youth to be better. Work with our youth to be inspired. Work with our youth to be leaders in the future. And so these are the things that we have to do with our youth. We're currently working on some things right now with the school systems for mentoring our youth in our school system, whether it's in college or whether it's in high school, to work with them on certain topics and of leadership, of career and goals, financial literacy, also emotional intelligence, and different topics like that to encourage our young people. And so we're currently working right now to make these things happen. In May, we'll be back at East Hartford High School, and that's going to be in May. I just got the email this morning saying that we're going to be going back in to talking with the students and talking with them and, for their career goals and developments. And so it's going to be great. We got a lot things that we need to cover for that particular event, and it's all the way in May. And so we want to make sure that happens, but we want to encourage our young people to become better. A lot of times the young people, they feel as though they have lost hope. They have low self-esteem. They're going through, whether in their homes. One of the things that they want to do is be able to have, careers and to work for college. And so here's the things that we have to work with them. A lot of them are single parent in single parent homes. A lot of the youth, they can't get some of the things that other young people have, but they want to be able to get employment. So what we have to do is we have to sit down with them, help them create resumes for themselves, how to basically go and look for employment in our communities, and go from there, and to work with them so that they can become good citizens in our community. And it takes a village to raise those children. All right, so we have to work together as alumni for the different school systems, as leaders in our community, to work with these young people to develop them as leaders. All right, and what better is to do that and to see them come up as leaders. So we need to do that. Understanding what leadership is. Leadership is in basic definition, is a person that creates or inspires vision, of the future motivates and inspires people to engage with that vision, manage delivery of the vision, coaches and build a team so that it's more effective at achieving the vision. Leadership brings together the skills needed to do these things and basically creating and inspiring a vision of the future. You know, in order for us to have a vision and to be inspired, you have to have a plan. A lot of times people, I talk with individuals in our community and they say, well, I have a plan, we want to do this and we want to do that and we want to do that. They got so many things that they want to do, but then when it comes down to doing it, then it's totally something totally different. But it takes time, it takes creativity, it takes a plan. And I hear people say all the time, I want to do this. A plan isn't a plan until it's written. And let me say that again for somebody. Somebody said, well, I have all these ideas on how to do this and how to do this and create this and create that and do this. This is for somebody out here today. In order for you to have a plan, you have to have that plan in your mindset. That's number one. Also, it has to be written for that plan. Basically, you can jot down basically on a piece of paper, a simple piece of paper. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to do this. Anyone could do this. Jot down on a piece of paper the who's, what's, when's, where's, why's, and how's. And you want to answer all of those questions. I know years ago, starting, a business, or I had a gospel group going, and we were looking to achieve certain goals in that gospel group, and we had to have a vision. And so we put down on a piece of paper the plan to get to where we wanted to get. And so we did that. At the time I was 16 years old, and I said, wow, 16 years old. And so we had older gentlemen that was in the band with us, and I was traveling back and forth to Springfield, Massachusetts, back and forth. And so, we've set goals and vision for ourselves. And so we developed that plan on a piece of paper. So what we said we wanted to do is we wanted to invest in a bus. And we invested in a bus, and we started our own bus business, setting up. And so what I'm saying to you is, set up a plan on paper how you think you will get there from the beginning to the end. Also have a backup plan for that plan. What are you going to do when something happens and you can't produce the way you expected in that number one plan? So what we have to do is we have to have a backup plan to what we want to do. And so we developed a backup plan. And years ago, and I just want to say that we sold out that business, and each and every member of that band at the time, we all got paid triple and quadruple of our money that we put inside that business, inside that business, that bus business that we had started. And so what I'm saying is to you is that you have to have a plan that is written so that you can prosper from, whatever things that you achieve. If you're looking to go to school, what are the things that you want to do? A few shows back, we talked about if you want to pursue your career goals and pursue your college experience, how would you go about doing that? The steps on going about how to apply for a college, going and actually taking a tour of that college to see, hey, I would like to, see what the college experience is like. Talk to different students there at the different colleges. Talk with the staff there at the different colleges. Go online actually and read those reviews. You know how you go to Amazon or one of these different shopping places, and you go and you're looking for a product, and you see the different reviews that are out there. You say, I'm not gonna take that product because it may be something that is not pleasing on that product. And so you want to make sure that you read those reviews. And that's the same way when you go for your college experience. You read the reviews, you talk with the different students around in the particular college, and also talk with the teachers. And they can set up a basic tour for you to go and do this. And it's as simple as just taking time out, writing a letter to the college, or reaching out to your college counselor, and also the counselors at the college that you're interested in going to. Make sure you do that. It's plain and simple. It's just, with a little help, it can make it happen. Parents could do it. The students can do it. The counselors could do it. Teachers can do it. And make it happen. These are the things that you have to do in order to develop what you want to do in life. And so these are leadership characteristics in starting and becoming a leader in our community. When you're creating and inspiring a vision of the future, a vision is a realistic, convincing, and attractive depiction of where you want to be in the future. Visions provide direction, all right? Set priorities and provide a marker so that you can tell that you've achieved what you wanted to achieve, all right? So in order for you to have a plan and you have that vision, you have to have that, you have to be convincing. You have to say within yourself, regardless of all the negativity, regardless of all the things that goes on, I want to reach my goal, and I want to reach my objective and goals and objectives in my life. And we have to do that, even in your employment. You have to be convincing in your employment. You have to be inspirational to yourself. If nobody encourages you, you have to encourage yourself to say, hey, I'm going to go on and be the best that I possibly can become. You have to set goals and objectives for yourself. You have to say, well, hey, listen, I want to continue my education through employment. Not just stop at one point. You have to continue on through your education and say, hey, I want to make sure that I can become the best person that I possibly can become. When they tell me that there is training for this, I'm going to be there for training for that. When they tell me new technology for this, I'm going to be right there. And I'm going to understand what that new technology is, and I'm going to get training for myself. And if they don't provide that training, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and I'm going to research that thing online and say to myself, hey, I'm going to convince myself I'm going to make this happen. And so you're going to go through those different steps to make those things happen. If there's new technology, if it's working with individuals for, say for instance, if you want to become a manager, or if you want to become a team lead, or if you want to become, a higher up position, you have to set goals and priorities for yourself. Just like every year and that you work, you should be creating a resume for yourself, in work each and every year, because you've gotten all the training that has happened now through the years. You should update your resume. You should update your resume on every year. You should update your resume. That way you can stay ahead. So say for instance they say, well, tomorrow we only need 5 folks instead of 10 folks. You should be able to keep your resume updated so that if the company is downsizing and you're part of that downsizing and you're not employed anymore, so you want to make sure that you have an updated resume. Don't wait to the last minute. I'm going to say this Again, don't wait to the last minute to say, hey, I need a resume updated. Make sure you get your resume updated as soon as possible. Because, like I say, uh, every company is upgrading, every company is downsizing. So you want to make sure that you're going to stay right there in the middle and you're going to be a part. And you got to convince yourself. You have to convince yourself that say, I'm going to become the best that I possibly can become. And I'm going to be able to market myself if anything happens, okay? And so by keeping the updated resume, you are marketing yourself. And a lot of times, the reason why people cannot prosper in the workforce or life is because they don't have documentation to market themselves, and understanding that you have the different qualifications and training for a position in that field. So you have to become the best that you possibly can become. One of the things I told about I speak to young people all the time. Make sure that you keep your social media sites clean. Again, make sure that you keep your social media sites clean and fresh. All right? If the employers, they want to see who you are, but beside being at work, they want to see you and the work that you've done. And there were many times that somebody, matter of fact, it was last week, a gentleman came to me and said, hey, I seen the work that you guys are doing. Yeah, you guys are doing great. I like that. I like that. How can I get involved? And those are the responses that I want people to see when they see what I post out there on social media. I want to see that they're posting, we're working with the homeless. I want to see we're mentoring students. I want them to see that we're out talking, encouraging, and inspiring people in our community to become the best that they possibly can through jobs, housing, mental health screening, all the above. I want them to see that we're doing the work in the community that is much needed in our community. Yes, these are the things I want them to see. You don't want them to see any negativity in your sites or anything that you do. And so we want to make sure that that happens. And so this is why this is in addition to leadership and creating an inspiring vision and direction and setting priorities as a marker, so that you can tell that you've achieved what you want to achieve. How you going to get there, what it's going to take for you to get to where you want to go in life, and to be that successful leader. Therefore, leadership is proactive, problem solving, looking ahead, and not being satisfied with things as they are. There's a lot of times I look at myself as a leader, and I look at say, I'm not satisfied, with what we're doing, the work that we're doing. I'm not satisfied. I would like to see us create more. And then when I look at others, I see people, they just, want to be a part of, they become enthusiastic, to the approach of working in the community. But when it's time to roll up their sleeves, I want to get paid, to do the work. I want to, be out front. I want to be in center. But they don't want to see things happen in our community. They don't want to see change, and so they're so enthusiastic about what's going on and what's around them and the limelight. They see that we come in and we, in meetings and things like that, and they say, well, I want to be just like that. But then when it comes down to them to be proactive and to getting things done, they don't want to get things done. They react over something, and they're nowhere to be found. And so here's what I'm letting you know, that in order for you to be a leader, you got to be proactive. You can't, there's going to be times that we're going to have to be reactive on different things and topics and things like that. But you got to be proactive. You got to roll up your sleeves when nobody else don't roll up their sleeves. Because why? You prioritize what you want to do. You have a vision, you have a plan, you have goals and objectives to get to where you need to be. These are the things that leaders do. And so once they have developed their visions, leader must make them compelling and convincing. When people are enthusiastic about doing a certain project, or they're enthusiastic about doing things, you have to, make things appear, say, hey, we are going to reach our goals. These are the steps that we're going to reach our goals. These are what we need to do. And how are you going to do that? You're going to look at your individuals or staffing that you have. And what you're going to do is you're going to see each individual staff have gifts. Understanding your gifts can contribute to the vision. Your gifts can contribute to the vision. And one of the keys to the production level of leadership is understanding how your gifts and abilities can be used productively to further the vision of what your goals are. There is a strong relationship between giftedness and effectiveness. As a leader on the production level, the more focused you are with your talents, the more rapid the rate of growth and greater the increase. I'm going to say it, I like that. It says, the more focused that you are. Now, we see some leaders, they just, moping around and say, yeah, we can do this. Yeah. But the more focused the leader is, you are within your talents, and more rapid rate of growth and greater the increase in your overall potential to be a productive leader. Part of that is personal. As I discussed, these are the things that you need to understand on how to be proactive about in your gifts, about contributing to the vision. All right. And so you have to be able to motivate and inspire other people. If you're not motivated and inspired to other people, then they're not going to be inspired. When we've done our job and housing workshops, we had so many people, come to the meetings, and, I had to be convincing. I had to be, inspiring to the other ones to say, hey, we can do this. We can make this happen. I had to be the one to get all those individuals together in the community, the different resources in the community, faith-based groups, the clergy, the individuals in the school systems. We had political individuals. We had different businesses come together, job and housing workshop. And so what we did is we created a job. We had to get the employers together to sponsor their tables, to be ready for interviews. We had to sit down and get laptop computers, so we had staffing ready to create resumes for individuals that needed resumes, individuals that didn't have email addresses. We had to create a plan for all that. I had to create a plan for all that, and then work around the whole team to implement that plan. And so these are the things that you have to do as leaders, and it's a lot of work, a lot of hours to do these different things. But you have to make sure, if you want to be compelling, if you want to be the best that you possibly can become as a leader, as a provider in your community, or as a provider in anything that you do, you have to take that step to make things happen. And so with the planning process, the talking with individuals in the community and say, hey, we can do this. I need this. I need that. I went to the businesses and asked businesses, can you contribute for some refreshments for the different events that we have? They came through like no tomorrow, and we had more than enough for individuals. We needed ties for individuals that wanted to, that created their resumes and wanted to learn how to tie a tie and to, go to that first interview to sit down with those individuals in those those employers. And so we had individuals go and then get a job that they never had before, because why? They had the resources. They've been taught. They had the resources they had a plan. They had a written plan on paper to go to those employers and say, hey, I'm going to become the best that I possibly can become. I want this position, and here's my qualifications of what I've done, and they hired them on the spot. And so that's why we have to be convincing as leaders to make things happen like that. When you see change in your community, to see change in those individuals in that community. When I go out into the community, I see individuals and individual people that have been homeless, and they come to me and say, Don, hey, I appreciate you when you were at the homeless shelter. I appreciate you when you gave that lecture. I appreciate you when you gave that talk or that discussion about that certain topic. I took it all in. Now I am a good citizen. Now I have a job. Now I have a place to live. I have an apartment. Now I have a family. Now I'm doing much better than what I was. And so when you see those different type of stories, it makes your heart feel good and makes you, but me as being a leader, I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied with just one or two people here and there. I'm not satisfied. I'm satisfied when I can see our whole community prosper. I'm satisfied when our whole community, our entire community, is prosperous. All right? And so these are things that we have to do to set example. The expectation that hard work leads to good results. That's my expectation, is that hard work leads to good results. And like I say, it's going to take leaders in our community to make things happen. Somebody say, well, how come you don't run for office? This office is not for me to run. I'm here to serve the community. I'm doing what I need to do. I know my purpose. One of the things that you have to know is your purpose in life. You have to understand who you are, what you've done, and what you're going to continue to do. You understand what you're there to do. And so a lot of times people don't have a purpose. They're just there just to be there in the gap. And so we need leaders. And so this is why I want to inspire you. I want to encourage you to become the best that you possibly can become. The expectation that good results lead to attractive rewards or incentives. Listen, if I said that all the work that I do is good work, it's good work. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a reward, financial reward from the things that we've done. I could barely get a drink of water at some of these different places. But the reward comes in the very end, because we don't seek the reward, financially. We don't seek after those different rewards like that. Our reward is at the very end, where we can say at the very end that we've provided a good work, and we fought a good fight, and we finished the course, and that we see the result of our fruit being bared in our community. And so that our fruit is the work that we've done in our community, when we can see that happening. And so the reward of incentives. This motivates people to work hard to achieve success. because they expect to enjoy rewards, both intrinsic and extrinsic. Now, like I say, we always praise our team. We always praise them. We always let them know, hey, you're doing a great job. It's everybody wants to do a great job. And when somebody doesn't do a great job, they don't want to get reprimanded because they didn't do a great job. On this road, you're going to have some ups and downs, okay? And so one thing about it, you can't, take off your eyes off of the vision that is created. Everybody has to have that same mentality, that same vision goals. You may be able to be a gifted writer. This one may be gifted in computers. This one may be gifted to speaking one-on-one with individuals. This one right here may be good at talking in business. This one over here might be good in writing reports. And so when you put all those different gifts together for the same vision, the same plan, the same goals and objectives, you can work wonders. And it's a reward when everybody can work together, and everybody's got to know their purpose too, because you can't have one or two that don't know their purpose and they're just coming along and they don't know their purpose or why they're there, what they're doing. And we see people like that in the different work places. We see people like that in different organizations. We see people like that. They don't understand what's going on. They don't know what's happening. They don't want to try to get involved with anything. They just want to be there in the lamb life. And, it doesn't happen that way. You have to have that same mindset, goals and objectives of what you want to do in leadership, all right? And so we have to motivate those individuals. You have to inspire those individuals to say, hey, these are the things. Here is a plan about what we want to do. Sit down with them one-on-one to understand what's going on. Every month, I send my people that work along with me an update on everything that we do. Every month, I send an update on them on everything that we do. And then that I hold meetings with individual people to discuss what further we can go to, and produce, and how we can get to our goals and objectives and visions. Also, I have where I can't reach them by email, they don't respond back to me. What I do is I go and I set up conference calls. You can send them text messages, conference calls, emails. And then also another good way to do it on a social send page. And most time, if they don't contact you on the three main causes, you can go to their social page and you can see them online. And that little dot is green. That means that they are online. And normally they'll respond back then. There's many of individuals that I have sent a message to or on social and on their social messaging page, and immediately, like my cousin, he's one. He lives in New York, and so if I can't reach him by phone or text, I'll go to the social page and say, hey, what's going on? How are you? And he'll come back to me and say, hey, Don, how are you? I've been so busy. I'm doing fine. I'm working, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And so these are the things that you have to understand on how to do. Some say, I can't reach out to the parents in the schools. What have you done to reach out to those parents? Somebody say, I sent flyers home with the students. I've sent text messages. I've sent all these different things. And you have to try those different areas to reach those parents, to get them to come to the PT staff meeting, parents and teachers conference meeting, you have to do all those different things. You have to ring their phone. If they're at home, you have to ring the home phone. If they're not at home, you got to ring the cell phone. If the cell phone is not available, you have to message them through text. If they're not available through text, then you have to send that paper home. If they don't respond, then you have to take some time to knock on their door. And go from there. And these are the things that you have to do. And one good thing about it is everybody's on social media. Won't you just post, hey, Parents Teachers Association Conference happening on this coming Saturday. We want you to come on out there. And then you'll see majority of parents, they'll come back and say, hey, I saw that posting out there on social media, and that's why I'm here. And you say, wow. I tried to call you a response. You didn't respond, so they're here. But you got the message out. That's the leader in you, because you tried all those different areas to make things happen. Other approaches include restating the vision in a term of benefit. It will bring the teams together and take it frequent opportunities to communicate the vision in an attractive and engaging way. What's particularly helpful is when leaders have expert power, all right? People admire and believe in these leaders because they are experts in what they do. They have a credibility, and they've earned the right to ask people to listen and follow them. This makes it much easier for these leaders to motivate, inspire the people that they lead, because they're experts. I know when individuals not, really into what they want to do. But what I do is I try to inspire them and create, and what I normally do is I create professional documentations and professional e-blasts and professional flyers and professional voiceovers to inspire the people. And then when they see those different things that being inspired, they say, wow, I remember when we did first job in housing, a financial literacy workshop. We did a financial literacy workshop, and we wanted to talk about, credit. We wanted to talk about how to establish a bank account. We wanted to talk about, all these different subjects of financial literacy. So we got together with the banks, and we got together with the folks and individuals and community, representation, businesses, blah, blah, blah. We got together, we did that. And so people were like, they were so, we set the plan up, plan was written, and we had meetings after meetings after meetings. But then when they saw the flyers, when they saw the paperwork, they even got more inspired to become, better leaders and to do more. And I looked at it, I said, wow, we had people coming up to us asking us, can they teach the workshop? Can they come in on our event? We had all these different folks coming in, and I said, wow. And if you want to see the some of the pictures, that you can go to our website is www.hartfordcommunityleaders.com.org. Go out there and take a look at some of the workshops that we've done, and you see all the different people coming together. Because why? I was able to inspire them. I was able to, by my expert power, to be able to lead and to inspire those ones to become better in our community and to help our community. Those same people, we are working with the students in the high schools. We are working with the students in colleges. I pushed them to say, hey, we need to do more with the students. We need to become better at reaching out to them. They expect something from us. We have to use our expert power to reach out to them so that they can become better people. And so leaders can also motivate and influence people through their natural charisma and appeal. you can do that. You have to make that happen. You have to be that to exercise that expert power to motivate other people to say, hey, you know what? I see the enthusiasm in your group. I see the enthusiasm in your staffing. I want to become a part of what you're doing. I want to become a part of what you guys have created in the community. I want to become a part of what you guys are bringing to the community. I want to bring my expertise, to the community and bring my gift, as is what we talked about. Bring in those gifts to help, the success for the vision. All right, and so managing and delivering the vision. This is the area of leadership that relates to management. Leaders must ensure that the work needed to deliver the vision is properly managed, either by themselves or a dedicated manager or a team of managers to whom the leader delegates this responsibility. Remember, I said everyone has a gift. You delegate each gift to say, hey, you're responsible for this. You're responsible for getting all the employers. You're responsible for making sure that we have a laptop so that we can, create resumes. We need individuals that's going to be able to create those resumes for those individuals in our community. So we need them ready, on time. We need them to set up, make sure that they have paper, pens. We got to make sure that we have everything that's needed for that power, for the laptops. You can't just have laptops and you ain't got no power. You got to have power for the laptops, all right, so that they come on, so that you can log in to be able to type all the information that's needed, all right? So make sure everything is all set to create that vision for those purposes. Make sure everything can function step by step by step, all right? So everybody's got to be responsible for different areas. Well, I know when we started, we had individuals responsible for the laptops. We had individuals responsible for the floor plan and the layout. We had individuals for that. All right, because you figure that you're going to have all these different things, but how is the floor plan going to be? How many tables are you going to have? How many chairs are you looking to have? How are you going to set up for, for the personal interviews, breakout sessions? How are you going to set up for the different speakers? So we had individuals set up for those purposes. These are the things that you have to do, is to make sure that your staffing, your management is all set to make sure the vision happens. All right. Leaders also need to make sure they manage change effectively. This helps to ensure that the changes needed to deliver the vision are implemented smoothly and thoroughly with the support and backing of people affected. And when you have goals and objectives, things happen where you may not be able to get all those laptops. You may not be able to have a lot of tables. You may have, 5 tables out of 10. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it work. Somebody said, you got to make it work. Somebody said, you got to make it work. So how are you going to make it work? You have to go back, revise the plan to say, hey, we only have this amount of tables. Let's make it work with this type of space right here. And you may be in a 2x2 space, and you may be able to work with that. Have individual come in one by one, or have them at a breakout session in another area. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have a plan for all that different things. Things that don't go the right way that you want has to happen. You have to have plan A, plan B, and plan C. I always say this when I'm talking to my individuals, and it always works out to where if something happens, the other one knows how to go back and adjust to change. All right? Individual and team development, coaching and building a team to achieve the vision. You have to have a team. You have to, make sure that each and every one in that team knows their responsibility, knows what to do. We have managers, we have staffing, their positions that they're available, and when you give them their their assignments, give it to them on paper. Well, normally what I would do is here's what you are responsible for. Now, in the bottom half of that plan, what I'll say is if we need you to work over in the food area from that pan, and I need you to go over to the food area and make sure that food area is clean. I need you to go to that food area and make sure that we have the proper utensils. I need you to, after you've done your position, but we have a team already here set up, all right? But just in case, if you're all set up and you're ready to go and you've done everything that you need to do, and I need you to go over here to help them. All right, and so you have to lay that out, because people say, "Well, I just set up computers. I don't want to go back there and work with the food and make sure all the things are happening back there. Make sure the place is clean after the event is over with. I don't want to do that. I just want to make sure my computers are all set. But you have to make sure that they understand different responsibilities. If you have to put the chairs up, if you have to put the tables up, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's got to do that. We all got to come back and pitch in for that. We have our original staffing for this to pick up all the chairs, to pick up all the tables, place them back into the storage room, all right? But if that didn't happen because the person that was responsible had to go home for emergency, who's going to do it? You know what I'm saying? Everything's going to be left out. And the one leader who is leading everybody, of course, he's going to roll up his sleeves and start taking chairs and tables and putting it, back into the storage. But it's up to the whole entire staffing to work together to implement that team vision to achieve the one, what? Vision. To achieve what? The one vision. All right? So as leaders, we have to make sure that we make that happen by coaching and building a team to achieve the vision that's needed in our communities, all right? Helping people experience success, helping people commit to success, commitment, helping people define the success vision, let them know, hey, do you understand the vision? What is it that you know about the vision to make things happen? Begin to develop your people with people into a team. Create that team. Team members should complement one another. Encouraging one another. Team members should understand their mission. Team members should receive feedback about the performance. Team members should work in an environment conducive to growth and inspiration. Prioritize the things that is high for high returns, all right? And be willing and ready to be a change agent. And we talked about that just now, be a change. So instead, focus on similarities and build upon those things to get started. Look for common ground in the following area. Common ground in vision. The common ground in your values. The common ground in your relationship. The common ground in your attitude. The common ground in your communication. Those are the attributes of leaders, all right? To focus on similarities, vision, values, relationship, attitude, and communication, all right? And these are the things that what inspires you to become a better leader. This is part one. I'm telling you, this is getting good. Every week it's going to get good because we're going to give you these tips to become effective leaders. because we need effective leaders in our community. Believe it or not, we need effective leaders that's going to make change happen in our communities, in our, in our environments that we live in. And so we want to make sure that they are communicating with us, and we're communicating with them about what's going on, and that we're going to hold them to their powers, their enthusiasm powers of leadership, expression powers of their leadership to make things happen in our community. That's the only way change is going to happen, is if we hold those individuals accountable to the needs in our community. And we have to have a plan. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is that we got to come together to work on that plan to make it happen in our communities. I'm telling you, I'm so excited about what we're doing in the community. I'm so excited about the leadership. I'm hoping that you are. If you have a question that you would like to raise, or let me know. You can send me an email, hartfordhcl@gmail.com, hartfordhcl@gmail.com. We'd be happy to respond back to your email about how we can come together to make change happen. All right? And I'm glad that you were able to tune in with us, and let's continue this talks on leadership. Like I said, this part 1. Can't wait to part 2. We're going to bring it to you. All right? We'll see you next week. All right. God bless.